What's up, guys? PK823 here with a public match commentary this time. I was talking to some people, and they said public match might be more interesting to some. You know, it's what people primarily play. So I'm going to go into that here. We actually run into I don't know if they're a group or if it was just a bunch of random people who wanted to win, but this game gives us a little more trouble than the normal public match stomp. Right here I brought with me Cyrus on a 1-bar and Pain Command, another guy I played with. So in terms of strength, we have 3 people that can get the job done, but nothing super dominant. It wouldn't be like bringing in a 6-man team of just all stars. But this first half, we don't really have any expectations of these guys, so we just kind of play randomly, go around getting kills, not really trying super hard. So I figured, with that being the case, I'll just talk about the game in general, kind of ways to succeed in public match, compared to competitive. How it's different, how you can succeed at it, and be better than, get better scores and or what have you. So the first thing to say about that is the loadout. Is to use the right loadout. A lot of people kind of run around with whatever they want, and that's fine if you just want to goof around and just challenge yourself or whatever. But there are some weapons, some classes in this game that are just objectively better than others. One of those, so I'll go into my go-to for public match, and that's going to be the carbine. That's a pretty obvious answer. Any other weapon pretty much pales in comparison to it. The car SMG for certain maps, if you need to try hard and run flags, and maybe the shotgun, maybe. But for public match, it's hard to give up the carbine. It's the best weapon. So slap an HCOG and extended mags on that. For your ability, you should always use stim. I see a lot of people running around in public match with cloak. Cloak is kind of the calling card of someone who doesn't really know how to play this game at its highest level. Because it sounds good. You're invisible. You're hard to see. The Titans can't see you at all. But you're giving up on 2 very important abilities with stim. One is to go faster, which, especially for a CTF game, you're going to want that extra speed boost to capture flags. Because in a public match, you're gonna kind of want to be, you're gonna have to be doing it all. You're gonna have to cap flags when you need to. You want to get a lot of kills, and helps with getting kills too. You can get to power positions faster, and you can survive gunfights. It's really, for me, it's the best choice by far. But cloak can be okay too if you really need to take out, if the enemy gets Titan control and just gets out of hand, you need to run around with an LMG, then yeah, use cloak. But I would go with stim. Radar pulse isn't even an option. It makes it harder for me to kill people, so I would stay away from it. But yeah, stim it up. Arc grenades also, kind of a no-brainer for public match. Because there's going to be a lot of Titans around, 6 of them. You can blind them. You can do that extra bit. You can use frags too. Frags are good for killing pilots. And I guess satchels. I don't know. I think satchels are really cheesy and they're annoying, but they're good. But I would use arc grenades. It's what all the good players are using. So let's see. Oh, and the kit. I would stay away from Enhanced Parkour and Run Gun Kit at all times. This guy, Frothy Omen, he does Titanfall videos as well. He's a lot more popular than I am. He goes in more detail why they're bad. So I'd watch that video if you're interested in doing more. But what I use personally is quick reload kit, especially in a public match. Oh man, this guy, this guy gets away from me. Unfortunately, I mean, look at all those Titans. I just can't get to him. I use quick reload kit, especially in public match when you're going to be running up against 3, 4 people. You know, you just want to be able to run through them with your carbine, and quick reload kit helps you do that. You know, it just helps you kill the noobs faster. You know, and again, public match, you're usually by yourself. You can't really rely on teammates to pick up those kills, so you have to be able to do all of it yourself. And for anything other than attrition, Waterfall Transmitter lets you crush Titans and get in your Titan faster. I might do a video on attrition because I know that's the most popular game mode. Probably a decent amount of people watching this that might be their favorite, and they're like, "What the hell is CTF?" I don't care. So I might be doing one on that. And then Titan. What you see here is what you should be using for your Titan if you want to dominate in public match. The arc cannon with the capacitor is super powerful. It's an overpowered weapon. We jokingly call it the skill cannon. It's really good against Titans because you can do a significant amount of damage very quickly in an instant. Yeah, there's that charge up time, but you can toggle the charge to mitigate that weakness, so you pretty much always have a huge burst of damage to give out at any time. Plus, as soon as you deliver that burst of damage, you can go back to hiding behind a wall. I mean, 40mm is my favorite weapon, and you know, a lot of people say it's the most powerful, but it's with a lot of pretty much every other Titan weapon besides maybe the triple threat, you have to be exposed to do damage to people consistently, and that's why the arc cannon is so powerful, and it leeches targets, and it's hit scan, and it one-shots pilots, and is excellent for goosing them. It's crazy. So if you want to get big numbers in public match, use that. Use the Alice chassis. It's a good balance. You know, Striders are really squishy. And again, public match, you need to be doing it all by yourself, and you're not going to be able to single-handedly get Titan control with something that's made out of paper mache. So I wouldn't use the Strider. The Ogre I could see you using, but it's really slow, so if the enemy... And there's a lot of nuclear eject in public match. People just love to explode in this game, in public match. So for that reason, I would stay away from the Ogre as well. I just think the Atlas is the best choice. For your ability, I would use... It depends on the weapon. For arc cannon, I think the particle wall is the best because you can keep charging while being protected. And for 40mm, I like the vortex shield, but the wall is also viable. I would stay away from smoke. Public match is a little more justifiable than in a team setting, because you know, in a team setting or even in a public match, if you have a partner, you know, or a whole team, you can just call out and they'll punch the guy off your back. And other than that, the smoke screen's kind of useless. People can dash right through it and only take half damage to their shields, or they can just not sit in it. It's not really useful. I mean, you can kill auto Titans fast, but they're not really dangerous anyway, so you can just sit there and keep shooting at them with your weapon. And you know, most importantly, it doesn't offer you any sort of active protection like the other two do. So I would stay away from the smoke screen. For the ordnance, I like the cluster missile for public mats, just because again, you want to be able to do it all. Titans are not really lethal, so you don't have to worry. So you know, using something like slave warheads or rocket salvo isn't really, you know, necessary to do that extra bit against enemy Titans. So you can use the cluster, shoot people. You know, people like to camp in public match or hide in buildings or whatever. And you can use it to cluster people off your back too, and that's people have to rodeo in public match, and you might not have help. So that's another reason to use the cluster. And for the two passives, I like the regen booster. Just again, it helps you stay alive longer, and the core accelerator, so you can keep getting damage cores. Because again, you're doing it by yourself. You need damage cores as often as possible to fight these other Titans. Let's see what else. I guess kind of just the general mindset for public match. You see here we've gotten a little more serious. Let's see. I don't think it's halftime, or we're already past halftime. We're up 2-1, and we're losing Titan control. So in public match now, I should say it this way: in a competitive game, you usually want to be going full speed all the time, not let the pressure up at all, just going for as many captures as possible. But in a public match, you don't really have teammates that you can rely on all that often. I mean, I had 2 here that I was playing with, but there's still another 3 that are kind of unknown, and we're playing against potentially 6 people who want to win. Trying to get the side under kill there. So you can't really just go for flags like a madman and ensure victory. You kind of, what I like to do, and this is a great way to get big kills, big numbers for the scoreboard and have a lot of fun. But it's good for just going for the win too. You generally want to try to go crazy in the beginning to get that initial capture and get a lead, and then just slaying your Titan for the rest of it. Get Titan control and just kill, because that's all you can really do. It's hard to, even if you're the best flag runner in the world, it's hard to get a lot of flag captures consistently against 6 people who don't just spin around in circles. There's going to be a stray grenade. There's going to be a weirdo sitting in a weird spot that you don't anticipate. It's just hard to control. Now, again, this is if you're playing by yourself, or if you don't have a huge army of people. If you're playing with a bunch, like 5 other people, you can pretty much do whatever you want. And if you're running into trouble, it's probably because there's another party of 6 people, or you're playing against people who are significantly better than you, frankly. And in that case, you might want to, that's more of a competitive scenario than a public match scenario. This is just for slaying and controlling games against noobs. That's what I think of when I think of public match. So yeah, definitely the way you should be going about it is just playing for your Titan and playing for slays. Get that lead and just kill, and kind of rely on the randoms on your team to get the flag captures. And, to get extra flag captures, as you'd say. If you're losing, you need to start doing it yourself, and you need to be able to recognize that. So that's kind of the mentality to go with in general. And I mean, there's a few things between competitive and public matches that overlap. Being in good power positions to get a lot of kills, and to cut off flag runners and stuff like that, and just knowing the spawns in general. Especially on a map like Colony, which I'm really familiar with, because that's one of the 5 competitive maps that we play on usually in custom games. See, so at this point, I'm just kind of hanging out by their base to yeah, teammate called out that he's nuke ejecting, and that's an annoying feature in this game, but that's for another video. I almost get crushed. Just trying to think of things to talk about at this point. I've been thinking about doing a video on maybe a Titan fight, or on Titan fights, maybe do some 1v1s with people, with some other good players, and just kind of go into detail about what's going on behind them, because it's hard in like a CTF gameplay to go over that because the fights are quick. But when you get a lot of fights, and they're kind of long, they're longer and stuff, they're easier to talk about, and it's all I need to talk about. So I might do that. I might do an attrition gameplay, just because I know that's a popular game mode. It's the most popular one. So I might do that. And I was thinking about maybe doing a frontier defense one, because that's kind of different. It's it's got its own little flavor to it. So that's kind of what I've been thinking about. Hope you found the video entertaining and informative. I kind of got a lot. We won, unlike the last gameplay, and I got a lot more kills, a lot more action. So, all right, see you on the next one. Bye.